Yesterday somebody kept one recording, but I think it was very old recording. I think your
Yeah,
data
it's
model.
not
Yeah.
yesterday's one.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So today we'll discuss about the key mapping in MDG. Okay. So first, key mapping we'll discuss and why we need key mapping and what is key mapping and terminology and maintaining key mapping in the system. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Sadhna, are you sharing anything?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me share. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we'll discuss key mapping in MDG. Okay. So what is exactly key mapping and why we need key mapping and how we do the key mapping. Okay. So 1 minute. So in MDG, key mapping is the linkage between the data master data objects. Like it is used for the global identifier in the MDG hub system to corresponding identifiers in the connecting systems. So let's say we have hub system for MDG and other connecting systems. Okay. So now we are replicating the data from MDG hub system to connecting systems using replication process. Okay. So during that, let's say here we have a global key for one master data object. Okay. And that master data object, how we want to connect in the downstream systems. So that mapping will do here. Okay. So key mapping is mainly used in the replication during the replication process. During replication process. Okay. Next, we can maintain the key mapping using the maintain key mapping, manage key mapping option in the system. Okay. So let's take one example like we have one business partner. Okay. That is um, some Walmart. Let's take Walmart. Okay. So for Walmart, the business ID in, let's say we have different systems like MDG system and other connecting system like A4H and S4H. Okay. So in MDG, this business partner ID is, let's say, 001. or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And in A4H, let's take it as A1. Okay. And in S4H, let's take it as S100. Okay. So now you are doing some now let's say you are doing some changes to this master data like Walmart. So you are changing the address or something. So you are changing it in using the MDG system. Now you have to replicate that change to the corresponding connecting systems like A4H and S4H, right? So to send the correct data to the connecting systems from MDG, we use the key mapping. So that how we maintain for this key in MDG system, the key in A4H is A1 and the key in S4H is S100. Then during the replication, the system will take this ID and it will send the information to that particular BP ID. Okay, got it?
Yeah, Sadhna.
Hello, Sadhna, can you explain again?
Yeah. So we are discussing about the key mapping. Okay. So key mapping is mainly used to do during the data replication process. Okay. So let's take an example. We have different MDG systems. So, sorry, different SAP systems and other systems as well. Okay. So our system is hub system. Okay. And we have downstream systems like A4H and S4H. Okay. So now in MDG, we have a business, in all the systems, we have a business partner like Walmart. Walmart is a business partner. Okay. So for this Walmart business partner, the business partner ID in MDG system is 1234. Okay. And in A4H, it is A1234. And in S4H, it is S1234. Okay. So now we have changed some information of this business partner. Like we have changed the address of this business partner Walmart. Okay. So now for this business partner, we have changed the address using the MDG system. Now we want to do the replication. That means we want to send this changed address to the corresponding systems like connecting systems like A4H and S4H. Okay. So to do that, we need to first identify what is the business partner ID in MDG system and what is the corresponding business partner IDs in the connecting systems. Okay. So to know that correct information, correct IDs, correct key, we do the key mapping. Okay. So whenever we maintain the key mapping during the replication process, that key mapping configuration will trigger, and with that key mapping configuration the system will do the replication to corresponding IDs. So let's say now we have changed the address of Walmart, which is having business partner ID 1234 in the MDG hub system, and we want to replicate it to the A4H and S4H systems. Okay, but in that systems, the business partner ID is different. But we have to replicate the data to the correct business partner ID only. So now, as the business like key, this we call as key. Like for business partner, ID is the key, right? So here the key is different in different systems. So first we need to map the key value, like keys, map the keys. Then during the replication, it will correctly map it to the correct IDs. So how we maintain this mapping in the system. Okay, so that is why we need the key mapping. Is it clear, Harsha?
Yeah,
Okay, so let me just go to the system.
Sadhna,
Yeah.
I mean, when we are replicating many fields, right, in one go.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
you have to maintain it like separately for each and every field, because this
No,
can
no, not
happen.
field. Like a key is the unique identifier, right?
Yes.
So for
So
each master data, we'll be having one key. So with that key
okay.
only, we can
Oh, okay.
differentiate the difference between the systems.
Okay.
Okay. So let me go to this. Let me go to the system. So application settings, key mapping. So here you can see in the minute. Yeah, in MDG IMG, I'll just go in MDG IMG. You have data replication settings, right? So under data replication settings, we have data replication, value mapping, and key mapping. Last class, we have discussed about data replication, right? So how we maintain the replication model and like outbound implementation and all those we have discussed in the last class. So now, what is key mapping? So here, key mapping we have, and under this key mapping, we have different options like enhance key mapping content and all those. So here we have define define technical settings. So here we need to define the technical settings for the business systems, like we have two different systems, right? So those business systems like the target systems we need to maintain it here. So last time we already maintained it. That business system is that is S4H client 800. Okay. So here we need to maintain the logical system, that means the target system ID and the destination ID, RFC destination ID. Okay. So the business object type and all this information we have to maintain. Okay. So after maintaining the business system and the business object and the communication channel, we need to define the design time activities. Okay. That is define the business objects. So we need to define the business objects. So these business objects we need to maintain. So what are all the business object types we have? We already have everything here. Okay. So next we need to have object identifiers. So object identifier is nothing but this object, like each object ID type we configure to the business object type. Okay. So for each business object type, we need to have the object ID type defined here. So we already have for all the standard business object types, we already have the defined object identifiers here. Okay. Next. So assign key structure to the object identifiers. So for each object ID type, for your object ID type, what is the key structure you want to use? That we have to maintain here. Okay. So let's see for 986.3. object identifier. So business object type. So here we have 194 for the material. Let's take this one, okay? So this is product. Product is nothing but material. So assign key structure to identifier, position, object ID. So this is the key structure for the material. Okay. So let me open this key structure. Okay. So external product ID we have here in the key structure. Okay. Next, after the key identifier, like key structure for the identifier, object nodes. So we have to define the object nodes. Next, we have assign business object to main context. So here for each business object type, we need to have the main context here. Okay. So for 194, what is the main context? So here in the F4 help, we can have it. So based on the available one, we can choose. Otherwise, we can create new ones. Next, define mapping context for UKMS. Define mapping context. Okay. So for material, so this is the material. So here we need to maintain the mapping type. So it is grouped mapping. Okay. So next, after this, all the settings for the key mapping, we need to maintain the key mapping. Okay. So to do that, we need to do it in the UI. Okay. So we have transaction called MDG IM, sorry, MDG KM maintain. So this is the transaction we use for the key mapping. I think UI is not. This is not working. Okay, so same like NWBC and UI configuration. So we'll be having a to maintain the key mapping, we need to maintain it in the user interface only. Okay, so for that, the transaction code is MDG AM maintain. So using that, we can maintain, or else let me go to IDM IMG IDM IMG. So from IDM IMG also we can go to the key mapping configuration path. Okay. So we need that sorry, UI access, but it's not opening. So yeah, okay, I'll check like why this is not working. Any doubts in this like key mapping, like why we need key mapping and how we have to do the key mapping?